The Transit came to American shores in 2015, but anyone who spent any amount of time in Europe in the last 50 years will recognize it immediately. It's been available on that side of the pond since the 60s, where it's always been the weapon of choice for tradesmen and criminals alike. That's right, criminals. Now, over the years, I've heard near constant claims that in Britain, the Transit is involved in varying majority percentages of bank robberies and other crimes where people would have to move large amounts of cargo quickly. Ethical considerations aside, if that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is. Here in the States, the success of the Transit comes down to three things: affordability, drivability, and versatility. You can have it as a traditional van, a chassis cab, or a cutaway, and with the option of 2 wheelbase lengths, 3 roof heights, and 3 engines. For 2017, things continue to improve with standard LED cargo lighting for van configurations, 3.7-liter V6 power for dualies, the 130-inch wheelbase option for the heavy-duty 350 version you see here, plus some more upscale options like heated seats and these power retractable running boards. The base audio system also gets an upgrade this year with 4 speakers, a tweeter, and a subwoofer, although in this cavernous interior you're still going to get a bit of reverb. This is the high roof version, and at 6'4" I still have plenty of room above my head. With a 148-inch wheelbase, you can get 14-foot lengths of material in here with the rear doors closed, and the floor can handle full-size plywood sheets lying flat. Now, this Transit's 487.3 cubic feet of interior space dwarfs nearly everything else in the segment, except for the Mercedes Sprinter's astonishing 586. And if you go with the optional 130-inch wheelbase, you can still fit 10-foot lengths of material back here. Now, the smallest versions of the Transit hold up to 10 people, but this big boy, he can accommodate an extra 5. And with the unibody construction the Transit has, well, they're going to ride in relative comfort. Now in this segment, only the GM and Nissan options are still body-on-frame designs, and they both suffer for that choice. You know, if you do need to do some towing, the Nissan NV should be one of your considerations with its available V8, but otherwise the sacrifice to drivability, it's just too extreme. Admittedly, I don't have a ton of panel van experience, but this thing is surprising at how well it handles. I mean, much better than I ever thought it would or could. I'm surprised at how responsive the steering is, and I can't believe how tight both the suspension and the chassis feel. And with the optional 3.5-liter turbocharged V6's 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, it's astonishingly fast and more than capable to do some hauling with a 4,200 pound payload. This version came with a 3.31 rear axle ratio and limited slip. With the 485 heavy-duty towing package, capacity tops out at 6,800 pounds, just 700 pounds short of the Transit's maximum. The interior is pretty nice for a commercial van, too. I mean, obviously we're relying pretty heavily on hard plastics here, but what would you expect? Storage is incredible with more cup holders than I can even really count. Now, there are, of course, a couple of complaints. This parcel shelf up here, it's too flimsy and floppy, and it sags even with the weight of a heavy binder. And the infotainment screen, it's just a little too small and too far away to operate safely while driving. Now, fuel economy ratings are not required for vehicles like this, but with no changes to the drivetrain, we can just use 2016's ratings. Last year, the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, that was rated at 15 miles per gallon city and 19 highway for 16 combined. Realistically, you can expect to see that drop at least a couple miles per gallon if you're driving around with nothing in the back, and expect it to plummet accordingly if you start filling it up with people or equipment or anything like that. With a base price just over 32 grand, or this heavy-duty 350 starting at 38, it's an attractively priced option in the segment. However, this version you're looking at tops out at $47,820 once you add in all the options, like the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, the 3.31 rear, the Sync 3, the power running boards, and a host of nickel and dime options like privacy glass, keyless entry, auto wipers, and more. If I can bottom line it for you, the Transit seems to offer the best blend of everything in this segment. Now, if you need more space, go with the Mercedes Sprinter. If towing's important, the Nissan NV has that available V8 and a full-size frame. For something a little smaller and cheaper for navigating tight city streets, the Ram ProMaster is more compact with a front-wheel drive architecture and a lower price tag, but for an overall winner, it's hard to beat the Transit. Hey, thanks for watching. For full details on the Ford Transit, just click the link in the description. You can head over to CarGurus.com and read my full review. And for more videos, just subscribe to the channel.